Well, good morning to everybody that's here. Thank you all for being here, and for whoever happens to listen in and watch this video, thank you for listening in. Today I have with me Mary, Shirley, and Darlene, who are all members of this church as well as members of the Quilters as well. And they're here to tell us about their gifts that they use for quilting, as well as sharing in good fellowship and love with one another during the time of quilting. And from there, I'll let you three talk about quilting.
I do have a little gift of being able to sew. But when I got down there, I got to cut out squares. And they'll guide you and put you in the place that you need to be. So that's my story.
Well, I probably have my mother to thank for sewing, because I can remember making my first dish towel on her electric sewing machine, and I had to turn it by hand because she wouldn't let me use the presser foot because it was electric. It might go too fast.
And then Shirley's a friend of mine, so I bragged up quilters.
Mary is not only a talented sewer, she's also an excellent recruiter. I don't know how many of us are down there because of Mary, but she's spread the word that it's a wonderful group, and it is. We've had a wonderful time. You don't have to be an expert at anything to join Quilters. It's just a group of ladies that offer their talents, whatever they may be. Some of us cut, some tie, some quilt, but whatever we do, it's giving that we're trying to give to someone that's less fortunate and serve in that respect. And it's an enjoyable, very enjoyable thing. We have coffee and we have lunch there, and it's a fellowship. You get to know the other members and you learn their stories. We've been with each other, supporting each other through maybe the death of spouses, friends that have been lost, and it gets to be its own little support group.
From the ELCA's documents on stewardship and the theology of stewardship, it is written that the worship of God is the highest form of stewardship. And so my question then for you all is, how do you see your service as an act of worship to God?
Well, I think of what Marion said a couple of weeks ago about the quilts being a shelter or a comfort for people who don't have anything. Yeah.
And in the Bible it says, this is in my own words, that you do it, and it's just like you're doing it for Jesus. And then your hands are his hands to pass comfort and warmth.
Are you referring to the when I was hungry you fed me, when I was thirsty you gave me something to drink, or when I was naked you clothed me, in this sense, because you give this warmth?
And if you do it for the least of these, you do it for me.
Yeah, so it's amazing to see how what can seem like a very simple gift of needling some thread or cutting some fabric, when it all gets put together in fellowship and in love, can bring the love of Christ to somebody who's in need of that love and that comfort and peace.
And we're kind of like the quilts. We're all different, but you put them together and they work out really well, our different talents, and some tie, some cut, and it ends up with a beautiful quilt. And we're all different too, but it's a great group to work with. So if anybody's interested in participating, we would love to have people join.